Good morning, everyone. My name is Ryan Beeler. I'm starting my 6th year teaching science and coaching tennis at Springwoods High School. As I planned for this speech today, I watched the video you just saw about daring greatly. And initially, I thought that it was a challenge to each of us to do more. But when I rewatched it, I thought it was something a little different. I thought it was about failure. It was about learning from your mistakes and then daring to try again, even when it's hard. Because as teachers, we often challenge our students to try again when they fail, but we rarely do it ourselves. My journey into education is an unconventional one. I grew up in Illinois, loved watching detective shows. Columbo was my favorite. And so when I graduated college, I wanted to be in the FBI. I applied and was rejected. They told me, you don't have enough experience, go be a police officer first. So I joined the Nashville Police Department. For almost 4 years in Nashville, Tennessee, I was a police officer in inner city Nashville. But my wife started working at an after-school program for at-risk kids. I started volunteering there, and I loved tutoring the kids. I loved seeing the spark in their eye when they learned how to do a math problem or understood a science concept. So after a couple months of volunteering, I decided right there that I wanted to work in the front end, in education, rather than putting a kid in the backseat of my police car. So about the same time, my grandfather died. He and my grandmother were teachers for over 30 years. And at his funeral, my family listened to the stories of his former students and the impact that he made on their lives. Afterward, I asked myself, how do I want to be remembered? And that's when I knew for sure I wanted to be a teacher. So my wife and I joined Teach for America, and we both started here in Spring Branch. My wife, Christina, who's here today, started at Northbrook High School. And I started at Springwoods High School. Being a police officer definitely wasn't easy, but after 5 years in the classroom, I can honestly say that teaching was and still is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And as I look back to that first week of teaching, I cannot believe that I was responsible for 5 classes of more than 28 students. So during my first semester of teaching, I came to school as the sun was coming up, and I left when the sun was going down. And after months of feeling like a failure, I realized that if I was ever going to make the impact that my grandfather made, I was going to have to keep pushing myself. So I decided to start doing things both inside and outside my classroom at Springwoods. I became the sponsor of the Woods Project at Springwoods. The Woods Project is an organization that builds social skills through wilderness education. Over the last 5 years, we've taken over 200 kids on weekend trips to state parks in the Houston area. And we've taken 70 kids to national parks on 2-week trips like Yosemite in California, Glacier in Montana, and the Apostle Islands in Wisconsin. Building relationships with the Woods Project also helped me out when I started a One Goal program at Springwoods. Through One Goal, we support kids their junior year of high school all the way to their freshman year in college. Through my cohort, my kiddos gained on average an increase of over 170 points on their SAT, and this fall, they'll start their sophomore year in college. 13 of 16 will be in a college seat. And then last year, we started what my students and I started the program that I'm the most proud of. I teach environmental science, and I teach sustainability in each one of my classes, but I also see all of the immense amount of food waste that happens in our cafeterias. So we talked about it in class, and my students and I started a program called a food share table. My students spread the word that other students, rather than throw away your uneaten fruit, your unopened milks and juices, you could donate it to our food share table. and if a hungry kid needed a snack anytime, no questions asked, they had something to eat. At the end of the week, my kids helped me prepare everything, package it up, and all the leftovers were donated to a local shelter for women and children. This program started in late January, and by the end of the semester, we had diverted over 3,000 pounds of fruit and over 5,000 milks and juices from the landfill. So I have a selfish plug here. It's my dream that we could get this on every campus one day. So if you're interested, just reach out to me and we'll try to make that happen. And finally, when someone not in education talks to me about teaching, I tell them that teaching is like climbing a mountain with the Woods Project. Each year we start at the bottom of the mountain. Knowing the challenge ahead of us. But every new year, we start with a little more equipment and a little more knowledge for the path ahead of us. If you're a first-year teacher, find a guide along that path, because veteran teachers love working with new teachers. Your passion is contagious. But whether this is your first year teaching or this is your 30th, I hope that everyone in this year, chooses to dare greatly. Thank you.